In today's episode, Russia is ready to detonate the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant at any moment. Confusion reigns in the minds of ordinary Russians. No analog technology emerged for rebuilding destroyed housing in Mariupol. Destruction of Russian equipment on the battlefield, and more. Hey! My name is Alex Zaplavsky, and I'm about to guide you through these topics and other key events that happened on the battlefield as of the end of March 11, 2024. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, press the subscribe button, so let's jump right in. According to the head of the main intelligence department of Ukraine, Kirill Budanov, Russia can technically control and trigger a nuclear catastrophe at any moment. Russia also mined the cooler separately, along with other objects on the territory of Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant, preparing them for destruction and release of radioactive materials. In addition, conditions have been technically created under which Russia can currently control this situation and cause a nuclear catastrophe at any moment, with a countdown from 10 hours to 14 days. By the way, this is one of the main aspects that the Russians emphasize in their reports, stating that it will be impossible for the Ukrainian side to localize the accident. The dispersion of radioactive elements will last as long as the nuclear fuel is loaded at that moment. According to the head of the main intelligence department, Ukraine has made several attempts to deoccupy the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant, with small-scale operations of special forces units at the beginning of the full-scale invasion. Unfortunately, none of them have achieved their goal. I would like to remind you that the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant is located in the Zaporizhzhia Oblast of Ukraine and was occupied in the first days of Russian attacks. It is the largest nuclear power plant in Europe, and accidents there could cause catastrophic damage not only to Ukraine. Another series about extraordinary construction technologies by Russians. Once again, Mariupol is occupied. Newly built houses to replace those destroyed by the Russian army.
Видите эти 4 новостройки трехэтажные? Пойдемте сейчас вместе со мной и посмотрим, как сдали вон те 2 дома.
Ладно, вот смотрите, здесь тоже.
The door won't open. How won't it open? It won't open any further. This is the limit. That's the problem with the whole house. The doors. It doesn't close. It's stuck. Now let's show further in other apartment. Cracks. You'll see. The cracks are unbelievable. All over the ceilings. It's frustrating that these are new apartments where no one has lived yet. Well, that's it. This door won't open easy, right? The neighbors don't know yet, but how they will bring furniture here and open the doors to the apartment is unknown. And why did this happen? I don't know, probably due to the dampness. Unbelievable. And why did this happen? It was like this when we received the documents for the apartment and keys. It's everywhere, everything has come off. It's cement, there is a plasterboard, it's a load bearing wall, and here is a hole and cracks. Look, there is a crack here. You can see it with the naked eye. This is the crack. And it's deep. Chaos in the minds of Russians. Here he talks about how he likes all the reforms and supports everything. And in just a minute he says there is chaos, poverty and everything is bad. How does it work in his mind is unknown. How would you assess the government reforms and programs that we have had in recent years? Positively, I support all of them. Can you name a specific reform that you liked? Well, I can't really say which one. Well, I see on the TV what's happening in the big cities. What about your city? No roads, no water, and they always cut off the power during the day. What kind of life is this? It often happens in our village in Grokovo. So, of course the standards of living has increased, salaries have gone up, but do you find yourself having to save money on food lately? Of course, well, how else? You cannot live without saving. Our city is dying. But they did raise your pension a bit, didn't they? I'm a working pensioner. They didn't raise mine. Why do you work then? Well, because it's impossible to live on this pension, 14,000 rubles. It's about $150. Can you live on that? Another powerful fire in the Moscow region of Russia. According to reports from Russian media, a warehouse with construction materials is on fire, covering an area of 700 square meters. Thick smoke is visible for many kilometers from the fire site. Preliminarily, there are no casualties as a result of incident, and the cause of the fire are currently unknown. There is a strong sense that this might be the work of Ukrainian drones. It is also reported about a fire in another Russian city, Yeisk. Ukraine continues to strengthen defensive lines and build fortifications along the entire front. I would like to remind that until recently the Ukrainian military command, for some reason, did not attach great importance to fortifications, and they were often constructed hastily using improvised materials. Russians continue to terrorize Ukraine with drone attacks, particularly using Shad drones manufactured based on Iranian design, launching them practically every day. The video shows the destruction of such a drone by the American short-range air defense system Vampire. The importance of shooting down these drones is evident from the consequences of the damage they create. For example, today's attack on a residential building in Kharkiv in eastern Ukraine underscores the deliberate targeting of residential homes by the Russians. And now let's look closer into the battlefield. On the video, footage of another strike by Russians with a guided air bomb KAB-500 on a Ukrainian enterprise, somewhere near the front line. And the result of the explosion with the comments from a Ukrainian armed forces soldier. Friends, if you hear an air raid siren, It's better to take cover, because something like this can happen. Take care, everyone. I would like to remind you that Russia actively uses these bombs because they are relatively inexpensive, have significant destructive power and pose a challenging target for interception. The captured Russian military personnel says he went to war to surrender. Do we believe him? Your last name and first name, Solodov Ruslan Petrovich. Your date of birth, May 27, 1976. Purpose of the visit to Ukraine. To surrender? Here, I'm not too sure. Did this Russian soldier decided that this basin camouflaged him, or did he think it would protect him from a drone? What do you think? Counter-battery engagement between the crew of the Swedish self-propelled artillery unit Archer from the arsenal of the 45th Artillery Brigade and several positions of Russians D-20 howitzers, Kremensky direction. D-20 howitzer plus ammunition set. Aerial reconnaissance from the 33rd Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade identified 3 enemy howitzers, and the coordinates were transmitted to the 45th Artillery Brigade. Two D-20 howitzers plus ammunition set plus personnel. The fire until of the 45th Artillery Brigade eliminated 3 enemy gun crews. Ukrainian drones in the war continue to effectively destroy the equipment of the Russian army. This time a Russian Tiger vehicle was eliminated. The method of attack is quite specific. Upon closer inspection, it is evident that the drone drops not some projectile, but an anti-tank mine TM-62, designed specifically for undermining tanks and other heavily armored vehicles. The weight of such a mine is around 10 kg. And a few more clips of drones, this time targeting the smoking out of infantry from trenches that they managed to dig. It is reported about the destruction of another TOS-1A Russian system on the Mariupol direction. It is a multiple rocket launcher mounted on a T-72 or T-90 tank chassis capable of using thermobaric warheads. A rather dangerous combat unit. Its main drawback is the short shooting range, which often requires bringing it close to the front line. This makes it a desirable target for Ukrainian FPV drones. However, I am not very confident if it is indeed this machine, because the image quality is poor and it might be a tank, stated as an airstrike by our aviation on a Russian command post. Thank you to the pilots for the successful combat operation against the enemy command, stated by Commander of the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine Mykola Oleshchuk. The Ukrainian settlement visited by the Russian world. The Ukrainian settlement visited by the Russian world without further words. Russian video of the battlefield, presumably in the northern Makiyivka. One of the comments under the video: just a graveyard. In this area, at least 1,000 soldiers from both sides have fallen. And that wraps up today's video. If you found the information valuable or insightful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye bye.